Hi. This afternoon I'm going to chemically strip these 3 featherweights, and I've got in a box over there all the other parts, the bed extension, the light and hand wheel and all those things. So I'm setting up outside. This is work I do not do indoors. The chemical's very strong, the vapors are strong. I want to be outdoors. They say to use this product only at temperatures of 60 and above. Today is 61, so we're within that window of acceptable temperature. It's a cloudy day, which is ideal. If you do this in direct sunlight, the stripper dries too quickly, and so that's not good. So you need to be in the shade if it's a sunny day. But today's cloudy, so it's perfect. So I'm going to be using this Aircraft Ultra. I'll be putting on my rubber gloves. I've got rubber boots on. I've got a face shield that I'll be putting on. What I'll be doing is mopping on a thick coat with a paintbrush on everything. Just a very thick coat, and then patience is the byword here. Just let the chemical do its thing. And then I'll be using my pressure washer here with the tightest nozzle I have to blast the dissolved finish off at the end, and that works really well for getting all of the finish off. So let me get set up here and I'll show you how I'm applying the stripper. Alright, so you see that I've actually set the machines on. These are actually old metal refrigerator shelves, just to get them up off the pavement so when I'm rinsing, and also the grid here will help keep the small parts from sliding around when I pressure wash. Got my chemical resistant gloves on. I'll be putting the mask on when I blast the finish off. I don't need it on when I'm applying it. I've got a couple of different nylon bristle brushes to scrub the stripper and paint, and also plastic scrapers work very well. So I've poured some of the stripper into this old coffee can, and now I just mop on a heavy coat everywhere. Just don't have to be fancy about it. What you want is a good thick layer that's going to sit there and essentially dissolve the old finish. So you just mop it on very thickly everywhere. And there's no science to this, and I'll be monitoring this over the next hour or so, and if I see any spots that look thin, I'll add a little more. But I'm basically just going to cover the whole thing and then wait. Alright, I have the first coat of stripper on here now, and I'm just letting it work. But a few things I want to fill you in on. First of all, when I'm doing this work, I have a hose hooked up and water at the ready. So if for any reason I get some of this on my skin or on my clothing, I would rinse it off immediately with water. This is a fairly potent, actually a very potent, and frankly kind of dangerous product. So you need to observe good safety practices, and that means working outdoors, having chemical resistant things on. You see I have an apron on, I've got a face mask. I can't talk to you with the face mask on. And water. Now the other thing I want to tell you about is that before I do a chemical strip like this, I remove everything from these machines. So all of the gears and the 3 main shafts are out on these machines. The badge is off, everything is off. There's only one part that I can't remove, and that's this little thread guide here, which is driven in, and every time I've tried to take one of these out, I break it. So I no longer try to take them out. And if they do break, it's a problem because the base of it is stuck in the casting and there's no way to get it out of there. So you have to kind of drill in to insert a new one, and it's just a problem with it. So I leave that part on, but that's the only piece that stays on the machine. So I'm just going to give this time, and again I'm going to be going back, and when I see a dry spot I'm going to add some more stripper, and these are going to soak for at least an hour. And then I will be taking my brushes, one machine at a time, brushing to loosen it as best I can, and then taking the pressure washer and blasting the finish off. You only want to do as much as you can get through the whole process at a time. So I have a box with the other parts, the hand wheels and the bed extensions, the lights and so forth, and I'll do those separately after I've gotten these the main hull completed. All right, it's been just about an hour. I've just taken my brush and giving a kind of a light scrub. You can see that this machine, the paint is loosening more quickly than on the other two. This one's being the most stubborn. And interesting, they all have the same finish on them from the factory. But some of the paint takes longer than others. So it's maybe a little on the cool side today at 60, 61 degrees for this to work quickly. Usually about an hour. I'm normally doing this in warmer temperatures. Usually about an hour is enough. But it's going to take longer today. So I've just, after a scrub, I've brushed on another thick coat just to make sure everything's got plenty of chemical on it. And I'm just going to sit back and find some other things to do for another hour and come back and see how we're doing. Hopefully it'll be looser than this and I can start hooking up my pressure washer and blasting this finish off. All right, it's been over 2 hours, about 2 hours and 20 minutes actually. And this one here, I can see is the paint is now sufficiently loose. I'm gonna rig up the pressure washer. These two need to go a little bit longer. I'm gonna move this one over to the side here, set up the pressure washer. The next thing you're gonna see, I won't be able to talk because the pressure washer is very loud, but you'll be able to see me blasting the paint off with the pressure washer. So hang on. As you can see, this did a great job. It's probably 99% of the paint. Some of that will just rinse off. So that's how I get it really nice and stripped and clean. Let's be ready to prime and prep for a finished paint coat.